Presidents take breaks in leather recliners when they are not out monitoring the neighborhood. During an interview at her beach home in the fall of 2022, just before the midterm elections, the First Lady called out some advice. Grab onto the stair railing. It's the mom in me. On this sunny day, she was taking a brief break from a busy schedule that required flying around the country to support Democrats in tight races. In between teaching English classes and visiting hurricane disaster zones with her husband, she had popped up at fundraisers in California and Florida as a much-requested campaigner for Democratic Senate, House, and gubernatorial candidates. After I passed the threshold, a photo of Beau Biden was one of the first things I saw. Beau was Joe Biden's eldest son, who died of brain cancer at age 46 in 2015, and had recently left his position as Attorney General of Delaware when he died. He was the one who was supposed to be president, as anyone in this orbit, and especially his father, will tell you. Beau appeared in a poster-sized black and white photo that hangs along the staircase, the same image that used to hang in Joe's Senate office. In that photo, which the First Lady says was taken during one of Joe's many political campaigns, a young Jill stood between Beau and his younger brother, Hunter. Beau's death, and the profound gutting effect it had on his family, is hard to overstate. According to both Bidens, Jill first met the boys in early 1975, months after she began dating Joe. He had lost his first wife, Nelia, and his infant daughter, Naomi, in a car crash in December 1972, just weeks after winning his first Senate race. When Jill met him, she was 23 and recovering from the end of her first marriage, a youthful whirlwind she has called a counterfeit love, and a relationship that left her scared to let her emotional guard down. The idea of marrying Joe, a 32-year-old widower still knitting his family back together, was daunting, which is why it took Joe 5 marriage proposals before she finally said yes. Beau, a miniature version of his father, eyes always on the future, had pushed his father to marry her. "Dad, we think we should marry Jill," she says he declared on behalf of the family when he was 7 years old. When Jill married Joe in June 1977, the boys came with them on a mini honeymoon, taking their own room in a hotel suite. Though Nelia would always be Mommy, the boys began to call Jill Mom. And that's just a bit of family history visible from the foyer. Under the photos, Commander, the family's German shepherd, a canine roughly the size of a miniature pony, lazed inside a massive crate at the bottom of the stairs. Commander was given to the Bidens after the death of Champ, the elderly dog that reminded Joe and Jill of an easier phase of their lives together, the one where Beau was still alive. After Major, a rescue dog and Champ's helpmate, bit at least one Secret Service agent, he was shipped off to live with family friends, according to the White House. In this house, even the family dog has a backstory. Commander, like his predecessor Major, had his own problems with adjusting to White House life, which entailed biting several agents, according to reports. In February 2023, the beach house itself was caught in the political maelstrom that is the modern presidency, when a cache of classified documents was found in the closet of a think tank office set up for Joe after his vice presidency. The Biden homes were swept by federal investigators. None were found in Rehoboth. Upstairs, in the large kitchen and dining room, a welcoming amount of clutter bespoke a lived-in house. "Sunny days and starlit nights," read a sign on the mantel, the sort of tchotchke you'd find in a home goods store. The room was also filled with the trappings of a life in political office, including a life preserver that read, of course, Biden, hanging near a little bobblehead of Joe. There were bathing suits and frames on the wall. There was a stain of unknown provenance on the carpet. Several White House aides were stationed throughout the house. Mala Adiga, the First Lady's longtime policy advisor, took a call on a porch overlooking the park. At the dining room table sat Anthony Bernal, the First Lady's senior advisor, loyal enforcer, and one of the only people she really trusts. Her East Wing does not have a chief of staff. Bernal, her closest non-familial confidant, is the person in charge. An Arizona native and one-time child actor, Bernal got his start in politics as an official for the Clinton White House, where he worked in trip planning and scheduling for Vice President Al Gore. Bernal's entry into the Biden orbit came during the 2008 presidential campaign, when Joe Biden was chosen as President Barack Obama's vice presidential running mate, and Bernal was hired as a scheduler for the spouse of the vice presidential candidate. It was not a smooth transition. The Obama Brain Trust, having